Hey, it's Brody with Better Outfitters, and today I'm joined with Alex Schultz from 4wdTALK. He came all the way out from California to do some videos for some of his viewers on some of the really cool trailers and other camping gear that we have. He just got done shooting a video with Daniel on the Skinny Guy camper, and we're about to go over the Escapod TOPO2, and he's going to kind of go over some of his favorite things about it.
Oh yeah, look at that.
What would you say is kind of your key things that you like about this trailer?
You know, it's funny, Brody. I've said this many times over and over again, and I feel this is a good part to open up with. Historically, I have never been a fan of teardrop trailers, because if you look at teardrop trailers over the years, they have this kind of signature kind of teardrop, no pun intended, or actually pun intended, I think. Whatever, I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, well, I never doubted that.
Look to them. Even the original Escapod, the original Topo, I was not a fan of. It didn't, I mean, many people, fantastic. They do a great job. It wasn't until the Topo 2, when they came out here, they really took things a whole nother level. Not just with visually how this thing looks, but also a lot of the tech and the features and the ingenuity that they put inside of this thing really stands out. So we started publishing videos on these, and it's funny because I published one video.
Is this necessary?
And I would cover certain things, and we'd get a lot of questions that would come through, people asking. And so I would push out another one. And it's funny because as many times as I have covered these trailers, you know, even things like this number here, this is the first time noticing this number. You have any idea what this number means?
I'm pretty sure it's for their location, for the manufacturing place, but it could be a really cool camping spot, so y'all should punch it in and, well, give them a visit either way.
Old school.
There's a lot of little Easter eggs on here, but one of the things that, you know, we'll get to the inside here in a moment, but, you know, I just cracked this door open. I'm going to close this back up here because this is, for me, when you talk about things that just really stand out about this trailer right here, the look of it is just so different from anything else on the market.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, most teardrops out there, they're made out of wood, and this right here is a composite, and it really has this swanky, very different look, and they blend that in with this huge, massive door, this window that you have this magnetic shade behind. And you know, I was here last year with you guys. Remember that? We went out. I think it was a little bit warmer than what it is right now.
Yeah, it'd be pretty close.
It's pretty warm out. But the AC on here was one of the things like, wow, okay. There are a few things about this that really caught me off guard, but the AC unit on the top was absolutely pretty amazing. Now, I know you, when you head out, you enjoy cooking.
Oh yeah.
You do a lot of camping as well, don't you?
Yeah, quite a bit down here.
Yeah, so when I go heading out, I love to cook. And the first time I saw this spread back here, this kitchen, I remember seeing it was like Overland West a few years back, and they had it all decorated with some plates, wine bottles and stuff like that. But this big, massive stainless steel deck here was absolutely amazing. And I know you've covered this on your videos as well, but right behind here you have that knife set, and we're talking about those Easter eggs, those little hidden features of this trailer, and Escapod did a very good job with that. You have a cutting board right here, you have a table right here, you have a ton, I mean, geez, look at all the storage space. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying this to you. You know, you've done a lot of videos on this, but all this storage space, there's just so much to really like about this. And down below this, you have a dual burner stove, you have the hidden spice rack, which is pretty cool stuff. You have a lot more storage down below. You have 20, oh wait, is this 21 gallons?
Yeah,
it's
21 gallons of fresh water on it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now this would normally be where you're gonna put your fridge and so forth. But you know, one of the unique things, you know, Brody, if we go down below, and again, you know, for the sake of your audience, because I know you know this stuff because you've covered this trailer yourself. Now these guys, this is what I was talking about. What really excites me about this trailer is not only did they have a very unique look that they came to market with, but they also came out with a free ride suspension,
yeah.
That's proprietary.
Yes,
that's
sir.
going to keep this thing planted on the ground. And on top of that, what is it, 23 inches?
Yeah, 23 inches of ground clearance underneath it.
That's awesome. Yeah, you know you can go to a lot of places with
yeah.
that. A lot of places with that. Now, you have a lot more towing time with this trailer than I do. What do you, now, I think when I go towing this trailer, it is, you know, it really, I find it very easy to tow. Now, you have a lot more time towing this thing, so I'm going to turn the, over to you. How do you feel when you have this behind your truck? How do you feel this thing tows?
You almost kind of forget it's back there. I mean, with just how smooth it rides, it takes bumps really good. You don't have that jarring like some of these trailers do. I mean, for instance, like Timberins, they're a little bit more stiff, a little bit more rugged. This has a nice cushion float to it, and it just tracks really good when you're making turns. And I mean, even going on some of these sharper, higher speed kind of turns, it just hangs in there right behind you. Really nice.
You know, it's funny, not to change subject here, but as you asked me a moment ago, what are things that I like about this trailer? And as I'm leaning up against the kitchen here and you're standing out in the sun and I'm like, yeah, right above here.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, well, look, we have a horsefly friend that, you guys have a lot of horseflies around here.
Oh, yeah.
But you have this deck that opens up. And I mentioned this in my video earlier, but I'm just reminded of it right now as I'm enjoying the shade at the expense of you standing out in the sun. But you have this big massive deck that comes up that gives you protection against the elements, whether it be sun, rain, or if you're out in the snow. And actually you can do snow camping with this because of the heater. Again, going back to, there are a lot of things to really like about these trailers. That heater, now you guys don't get, your winters don't get too cold.
Not necessarily, not normally. Last couple days, sometimes we'll get some pretty cold days where it's single digits, but it doesn't last very long and we don't tend to get much snow. But still is nice to have the heater in them.
Now, for the sake of the viewers that are watching this, so this has a Truma hot water and a heater combo. Now that's right behind this side right over here. Yeah,
because your exhaust port's right here.
That is so cool. And also inside of this thing, that's one of the things that I really resonate, because you have all the controls right at your fingertips here. The mattress inside of here is crazy comfortable. You have that big bay window that's behind that shade right there. And when you look at the details, how the trim work that they used in here, you have those ducts bringing that hot air from that's right there. And then you also have another one right over here. No, actually, question. So is there heat coming out of these right here?
Yeah, so this is kind of their design with that. You've got vents off the bottom too, so if you put your shoes after it's been a lot of dew or anything like that, it'll kind of help dry them out a little faster.
Oh, that's so cool.
One of the other things kind of cool with the Truma and doing the winter camping is it's also got a port for your heat that goes right by your water tank, so you don't have to worry about it freezing up too.
So this is really designed to be a true 4-season camper.
Yeah.
That is so cool. You know, again, going back to this is testament to why I keep creating videos on this thing here. There are things that like that number we spoke about earlier. And this right here, again, just noticing that makes sense. When you get out playing around all day, it's time to crash, you can put your wet boots or shoes down right here, and by morning time, chances are they're gonna be pretty dry and toasty for you, ready to put them back on and get out into whatever you're doing. That's pretty cool stuff. And it's big and roomy in here as well. And so these guys really did a great job with this here. And other things that really stick out, of course, I was talking about the controls that you have there. You have the dimmable lights in there. And that's one of the things that a lot of the tents or campers that I've been in, it's just you have a light switch on, off. You don't have any options. And sometimes, like my son is usually with me, and he'll usually stay up a little bit later than I do. And so with something like this, you can dim them down. He can still do whatever he wants to. I can fall asleep. I like the dual chargers on both sides as well.
Yeah, sure.
So you don't have to go, I mean, you know where your phone's always going to be. And actually, one thing I noticed today is you have on each side, you have that little indent. And it's funny because as many times as I have reviewed these trailers right here, again, testament to what I said a few times already, there are little things that I noticed that I didn't catch. I said in the last video, it's like watching a good movie over and over again. Sometimes you start noticing other things, or like a good book. You read it again, you start noticing things that you didn't notice the first time or second time going through it. And this trailer has proven to be kind of the same therapy. Every time I come seeing with this, there's always something new to be found on that. But again, great job. But you know, in the back of my head, I'm still thinking about the ability to dry your boots overnight. Because how many times do you head out and then the dreaded put your feet back in your wet cold boots.
Oh, it's a must. I know tons of people that when they go up to the mountains to go hunting and things like that, they take 2 pair because 90% of the time you're going to get 1 pair of them soaking wet. And you don't want wet feet the next day when you're trying to go on an adventure.
No, not at all. And then again, we're talking about things that stand out. Now, going off, your ability to have more resources at your disposal. You have 21 gallons of water here. From a power standpoint, you have 240 amp hours of battery back there. You have a big old, what is that, a 140 solar panel? That I just learned today that comes off of this thing, and you can put the solar panel up on some kickstands behind it and set it up to 12 feet away from the trailer. Yeah, come on. So there's technically 3 things that I've learned about this trailer. And again, all these little hidden Easter eggs are just absolute golden.
That's what I'm talking about!
And one of the things I do need to bring up here, Brody, remember last year, we went out on a little camping trip with you all, which actually was a lot of fun. The thing I didn't tell you, so friends, it was so darn hot that day, and we had a few trailers out, and I'm looking around, I'm like, ooh, those trailers don't have AC. I'm like, man, I hope I get this one. And you guys were kind enough to let me have this, but the AC in this thing, I had to throttle it down. It was so, I started this thing about 8 p.m. By 11 or so, realizing, man, I got to throttle this thing back. It becomes super, it's like an ice box inside of there.
Yeah, that Dometic, it's the 1000 on this thing, and it is way overkill for it. I mean, you can crank it down to 62 degrees in that thing, and it just pumps out the cold air.
Speaking of which, on the video I shot earlier, I jumped up on here with this camera, and one of the things I noticed as well is on the roof there, even with this big old AC unit up there, with the roof rack, you still have room up there if you want to put mountain bike or even kayaks up there.
That's what I'm talking about.
They also offer a spacer kit that you can put on the bars to still put a tent above it, and you'll have enough clearance around that AC.
Can you really? That's so cool.
So you can stick your kid up there, and so they've been having to be in here with you.
That is so cool. Yeah, you can stay up all night. And the old guy is going to go to bed. Yeah, I can't believe I'm calling myself the old guy. But anyways, that's pretty cool. And that's because we know a lot of families are getting their kids out of the urban bubble, getting them out of their tablets and so forth, and had no idea that you can still put a rooftop tent on top of that. I thought once you have the AC unit, that's game over for putting a rooftop tent up there.
Yeah, because it goes just above those rack lines. But yeah, they got these little metal spacers that you can put up there to still be able to mount a tent on the top.
When you think about some of the tents they have these days, that really opens up the ability to, even for a larger family. I mean, some of those look at Colorado 4x4. They have that massive king-size mattress tent, and there's a number of other manufacturers that make these big old tents that, man, you can have probably 4 kids up there, mom and dad down here. Geez, the whole family, even a large family, are able to get out. Pretty cool stuff.
That's good news.
That pretty much wraps up going over this on some of the key points. If you haven't checked out 4-Wheel Drive Talk's channel, go give them a check out and subscribe to them. He's always putting out just tons of product videos, I mean, on a little bit of everything across the market. And I mean, there's not one specific brand he's doing either, so that's one of the cool things. It gives you a lot of educational value. If you're checking this one out with us, look back, check out some of our other ones on the Escapod to see some of the things we might not have covered in this one. Like I said, we just kind of hit the key things, and I just want to say thanks, Alex, for coming out and
really appreciate
doing the video with us, and hopefully you get to get some more good footage of this and hang out for the rest of the day.
Yeah, indeed.